Boom. Here we are. Another episode of the Bangin podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Cotter. Tonight we're doing a roundtable discussion over the new proposed rule changes. I'm going to have Bill Duda come on here, as I do with all of these roundtables, because he just makes for great content. And he's fairly smart when it comes to this stuff, so... go. He should be coming on any second. Once he gets on here, we'll get ready to rock. If I'm in the shower, can I join? Yes, you can. Just keep the camera above the pelvic region, Brennan. Definitely do that. That would make for some good stuff. Shrek, oh boy, yeah, oh boy. Risky 3-gun, what up? Big Dog Outdoors, sup? Hopkins, what's up, dog? Need to get you in here. Ask your opinion. Have you come in as well. Shirts on or off? See, here's the thing. He said he was going to go shirt off. I'm not sure if he's actually going to do that. But he also looks better with his shirt off than I do. I will give him that. But dump the hat? I know, man. I know. We literally, lose everything all year. And then cap it off with losing the number one pick. I mean, does it get worse than that? I really don't think it does. Glitchy, let me know, because last couple episodes have been glitchy. I don't want that to happen.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
All
me?
right. So I can, I can hear, I can see you. Can you see me?
I can see you. You see me? Oh
You like
man.
my shirt?
Well, I do. What does it say? I
Oh, it's
can't.
reversed. It
I
says
can't read it.
limited.
It's limited optics. Yes. Hercules.
Oh,
I love it, dude. All right, hey, real quick before we get started, I don't know if anyone else has heard, but obviously, we lost a legend in the sport today, Jorge Ballesteros. Um, I don't know any details, that I'm willing to discuss, but, we definitely, we need to just have a moment of silence for him real quick. Bow our heads, say a prayer for his family. So just take about 10, 15 seconds just to do a moment of silence for him. All right. Sucks, man. Legend. Absolute legend in the sport. World champ. Hate to hear it. But anyway, moving on. Now that we got that out of the way, never like to start anything off that way. But first off, are those shirts for sale?
as long as you want them hand drawn, because I don't have them made up otherwise.
I I would say yes. I would say yes for
Just
sure.
do
We
it in
definitely need that.
a big permanent crown type thing, so it looks more marine like.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, you'll sell a lot of those shirts. You got at
Jesus,
least one customer.
I'll be in my basement drawing these for the rest of the year. Watch.
You got kids, man. Just have them do it.
That would be even more off.
Authentic.
That's the word I was going for. I couldn't
Yeah,
words
look,
it.
listen, guys, these are made with slave labor.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's like it's like a diamond engagement ring. You know some kids had to get hurt for it.
Yes. Most children making these shirts were not injured in the creation of them.
Most.
Only most.
Joseph said sell all your clothes and be a nudist.
I've already been asked to go shirtless once.
Yeah, right. You told me you were going shirtless.
I was told I was going shirtless.
Oh, cool. Who told you that? Your wife?
No, a dude.
A dude?
It's always a dude.
Definitely not a female. A dude. It
No,
was a
it's
guy.
always a dude.
It's always a
Always a
guy.
dude. I was having to explain that to somebody today. I was like, yeah, I was like, the shooting sport is the only other place I've experienced gay chicken. They were like,
Yeah.
what the hell's gay chicken? Oh, now I got to explain what that is.
Did you tell him you've never lost?
Well, that's the lead-in line, isn't it?
Yeah, that is true. You're the
What
only
is it like?
person I know. You're the only person I know that's undefeated at gay chicken.
I have never had to kiss a man to win gay chicken, but I've come close. Whisker hairs were touched.
Oh my God, I'm gonna pass out.
Holy shit! I think there's a
Uh,
picture of that somewhere.
I hope
Where's my
if
frickin'
there's a
ginger?
you didn't send me that picture when I asked you for embarrassing pictures for the outline of this.
I'm not embarrassed by that.
You know what I mean. You know what I
Oh,
meant.
okay. You were looking for embarrassing pictures.
Gay
Oh.
J Run, however you say that, says gay chicken is all I'll ever be a GM in.
It
uh,
doesn't take a lot of practice.
yeah, right.
So
I know two
rules.
people that are undefeated in that game, and I hope I'm around when they meet. All right, so yeah, let's get to the fun stuff. So proposed
Why
rule
would you want to
changes.
see that?
Why wouldn't you want to see that? All right, so proposed rule changes. You're the smart one in this relationship, so lay it on me, Big Daddy.
Oh, well, let's see. Where do you want to start? You want to start limited 10 being just whatever you want to do, really.
Yeah, let's start there. Let's start limited 10 because I
Whatever, just keep it
when
under
I
10
read that
rounds.
I went, wait a minute.
Just keep it under 10 rounds. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. So
I don't understand.
what's the
Okay.
proposed rule change for those who don't know?
All right. So the proposed change is basically they take limited 10, say you can mount optics, you don't have to mount optics, you can shoot revolvers with optics, you can do whatever you want in that division, pretty much. That's the gist of it, right? So my understanding is there was a bunch of requests for things like uh, optics revolver, and I imagine somebody went, "Oh my God, we're going to be like Steel Challenge," and we're trying to find a landing pad for these optic mounted revolvers. I want to assume that the board or the rules committee got enough requests for these to make it like not like two dudes sending in three emails apiece asking for this. But so they were trying to find a landing place for it, and then I guess they had enough people wanting to do something about limited optics that they were like, well, you know, limited 10 is going to be a thing anyway, so let's just dump it all there. And
I I think this is the first step to the nuking the division.
uh, to you think it'll kill the division,
No,
dude? We still have people
I
shooting.
think hold on. I think this is the last ditch effort to go, okay, if this thing doesn't get any people in it now,
I don't,
that it's wide open
but
under 10 rounds.
but
This is as
that's
cool as we can make this.
that's not why the
If it
division
gets no
exists in the first place.
the division shouldn't exist to begin with. First off, let's start there.
Uh, all right,
There's already a rule in place to just make limited 10 rounds in 10 round states. Other than that, it's just limited. So
you're not wrong, but it's the
the
only
division's
division.
stupid.
It's the only division other than production that has a classification that works for those states.
I mean, does it?
That's the only other division other than production. Well, and revolver if you really want to go down that road. But so you got revolver, single stack, production, limited 10. Those four divisions can all play in a limited capacity state, not have and actually have their classifiers mean something. You shoot, yeah, I called it out. So you shoot open 10 in New York, and you're really not competing against open classifications. You're just creating your own thing. So,
I mean, most of the classifiers are tiny anyway.
all right, you're not wrong, but it's also wrong because, dude, I when production was the basis for carry optics, you could easily be a GM in carry optics by shooting the classifiers that had 12 rounds on them.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do is find the classifiers that have 12 rounds on them, run a classification match, and now you're GM because you don't have to reload. There's your
I think you should
second
just
there's your second advantage to get that high hit factor.
I think you should just nuke the division.
Hmm. So, what was the other argument I heard about that?
Joseph said,
Um,
what if everyone shot production for like 3 months? That could be like a factory reset.
if it was actually factory. I don't think there's not much left
There's
factory of
nothing factory about
production.
it. Yeah.
That's why they're like, what was it? What was the other one? They wanted to do factory capacity for production.
Yep.
There's not. So what I found weird about that. Okay, so are we done with limited 10? I mean, we have
Yeah,
barely
yeah.
touched on
Listen,
it.
listen, raise your hand if you want it to die.
I don't.
Shut up, Bill. Stop being
No,
so
dude,
fucking
but it's not.
old
But
school.
you're too worried about you and just you alone. The guys
Yeah,
over
it doesn't
the guys
affect
over
me at all.
exactly.
I
It
don't give
doesn't
a
affect you, so
shit.
you don't care,
It
right? It's
does
like
affect me because it's wasted money
no,
that the organization has to spend for
dude.
nationals.
No, all right. What they do is they combine it, so it's not really a big deal.
Yeah,
What you're doing
that's
is
what I
you're
said. Lump it all.
because it
Listen,
doesn't affect
single
you,
stack,
you want to shit all
revolver,
over it, and
limited tin,
you're
all that.
absolutely wrong
Just
for it.
stick it into
You're
classic. Just
absolutely wrong
classic
for it.
division. Classic division. One big classic division. Single stack, limited tin, revolver, classic division. Let
They've
all those
only got
guys go
they've
fuck each
only got
other.
four divisions where they're and then now once they mess around with this, it'll actually turn it into three because it really won't matter anymore at
Lump
all.
it, just squeeze it all into a big old
Uh,
can and just let them all go fight
you're
over there.
such a hater, man. You don't love anybody but yourself, do you?
No, not at all.
Oh
Hey,
God.
man, I'm just being
Look,
honest.
you got these guys that are just they're stuck in a state for whatever reason where, I call it behind the lines and they're still wanting to play the game and have their classifications count and be able to play. And I don't think shutting those guys down is the right move. I think turning limited 10 into, I don't know, they should call it something else.
Limited
Oh, I guess limited.
optics light.
Lil
Limit. Oh no! I mean, in all reality, I shoot limited 10 nationals every year. I like limited 10 as a division. I think it's interesting. I think it forces you to be able to. It's like old school production, but with 2011s. That's what
Well,
I like
with
about it.
major power factor 2011s.
Yeah, with major power factor
Yeah.
2011s. I think it's a. I'm not saying it's not a cool division.
Mm-mm.
I'm just saying that it shouldn't be its own thing. That's when I think you should take single stack, revolver, limited 10, throw them all together, and just say, this is classic division, go have fun.
Uh, I can. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about that because I saw somebody else making that argument, and my thing is only that revolver is really not competitive against uh,
Anything.
auto loaders at all. I mean, we the guys that got pretty good at revolver could handily beat a bunch of the people shooting production and single stack. But it was just, I mean, to be up against somebody shooting an actual proper major power factor limited 10 gun, you're not going to be competitive with an 8 shot 9 millimeter. You're just not.
Yeah,
You're going to be
true.
you're going to be able to beat the people that are B classish, but once you get above that, you're just not going to do well. So I don't know. That's the one division in that conglomerate that you were just talking about that I don't think actually fits in there at all. It's a completely different. It's a completely different skill to shoot revolver, man. I know that it's a lot of complication Tetris moves for people, but it really is a lot of fun, and it's a whole different ball of worms when you're bag of worms, ball of worms.
Can of worms.
That's the one.
You had a 50-50 shot and you fucking missed.
I missed it twice. So how do you miss a 50? Anyway,
All right. Listen, I think they're cool. Don't get me wrong, but let's be real. I mean, when it comes to revolver nationals, it's like how many people
well,
even show up to
what does
revolver
getting rid of
nationals?
it do? So first
It's
off, you want to get rid of
not
it to
getting.
make
It's
things
not
easier
getting rid
for
of it. It's not getting rid of it.
you want to
It's
consolidate the
lumping it
divisions
in.
down, which I just described will screw the revolver guys. It will totally screw the revolver guys.
Okay, so all 16 of them can send me hate mail. Okay, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
I'm going to send you my revolver rig, and you're going to have to run it for a little while.
So listen. All jokes aside, I have a buddy here named Ernie who's a badass revolver shooter. He's just old as dirt now, so he's not very competitive. But monster revolver. And I played around with his, and
It's lot of
I'd be
fun. I'm
I'd be
telling
lying
you.
if I said I didn't enjoy it. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And listen, I fully plan on buying a revolver and having some fun in revolver here and there. But
You
having
actually
a
spend some time with it and get good with it, and when you look in the standings and see how many production shooters you beat at nationals, you'll be like, yes, fuck you guys.
That's what I'm saying. So if you lump the revolver guys in,
You
right?
won't know. You won't know.
You
You'll just know that you
you
were the revolver
will.
in the standings. You don't know where the other revolvers were,
No, it'll
whether
be
you
a
got beat by those
subcategory.
guys.
It will
Oh
be a
Jesus! It will
subcategory.
not be a subcategory. They were talking about doing a subcategory of limited optics, and that got killed. There's no way they're going to make it a subcategory. Like there's not enough fucking categories as it is.
Kenny
But yeah,
said we can lose the 30 to 50 dedicated revolver shooters from USPSA. It's okay. Seriously though, I mean they'll just shoot something else.
the
Oh
only
my
other sport
God,
to see
Brian, if you're giving me updates on the game right now, I'm gonna be so happy. You keep that going.
the only other sport to play is Icor. But anyway, I'll stop with my revolver love. I won't go get
Okay,
it
anyway,
and dry
let's
fire it.
move on. Let's move on. For some of the revolver shooters put a hit out on us.
I don't think any of them are on Instagram.
Yeah, none of them know how to use social media, so I think we're okay.
Just me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right.
Whew.
So the other one was one they're wanting to mess around with production a little bit. And what they were
Yep.
looking at is, I they were wanting to say it was factory capacity, and then they're asking people whether or not we want it to be factory capacity with aftermarket base pads, without aftermarket base pads, 15 rounds regardless. And
15 rounds, dude. Just go IPSC. 15 rounds.
yeah, I
That's
can
such
see
a
the argument there.
simple, like factory mags. Okay, then we get in this arms race where people are going to buy certain guns, even though it's a shittier gun, because they can use the factory mag and it's going to have a 23 round capacity, right?
But it
Or
still has,
hey, let's do 141 millimeter, but
yes,
fill them
still
all
has
the
to
way
fit the
up. Then
box.
then we're limited minor. We're limited minor.
So on the first point, I don't think they should get rid of the aftermarket base pads. I think for starters, I think that's a non-starter. I think the amount of people that already own those products are just going to absolutely lose their brain. Like, oh my, you've got whatever 10 production mags, all of them have aftermarket base pads, and then you're going to come out with a rule that says, oh yeah, you can't use none of that
At 25 bucks
anymore.
a piece at the cheapest.
Yeah, and like, no, you're not allowed to use any of
Yeah,
it. It's like, well,
Ben Steger Pro Shop just joined. Those guys would be pissed as too.
yeah, I think that's a shitty move. Aftermarket base pads I guess the concept is being if they say you can only use factory base pads, then you can only fit whatever the factory count for the magazines are. But again,
Now we're
I
playing
haven't
a game
I
where it's
haven't seen
hokey pokey, hippity
anybody
hoppity.
like I haven't seen anybody go, I want to be able to just stuff my mags in production. I
No,
mean, I get
15 rounds.
I get the 15 rounds. It does become more trouble for the ROs. Like we can barely count to 10, and now you're like, fuck you, count to 15.
Well,
Right?
I
Like,
mean,
I'm sorry,
I mean,
11. We
listen,
can barely
we
count to
honestly,
11.
yeah, we
16
honestly
and 15 are bad.
we work on the honor system as it is with low cap round capacity stuff. I mean, listen, you know as well as I do, the first person to catch that is going to be your competitor.
Yeah, I think he's please pull you around and be like, fuck you doing, bro?
Yeah, yeah, I would. I'd be like, hey, how about that 17th shot?
Well, I can testify as a RO on a range. We do try.
No, yeah,
But
yeah.
there are times you just don't realize that the dude's a production shooter until he's the third mag deep. And you're like, ah, shit, I'm supposed to be counting. It's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah,
It really is.
man, it is what it is, but
So,
I think 15. 15, I really liked the way IPSC did production.
well, I agree with 15, not because of IPSC, but if you're going to try to improve the participation in the division, the I guess the question is does bumping it to 15, as long as it fits the box, use your base pads, does that still make people want to come and play?
Listen, I'll
I
tell you a story.
don't
I'll
know
tell
if
you
it's
a
going to
story.
improve.
Listen, I'll tell you a story of my very first match. Are you ready? I
Nobody
show
wants to hear it.
I show up with HK VP9 and 3 mags. Signed up for production because I had
Yeah.
no idea what I was
You
doing.
might as well shoot limited.
I just decided to show up, and I had two mag holsters, right? 2 mag pouches, and a bullshit little Blackhawk holster that I bought from Academy. That's it. That's all I
That's
had.
it.
I show
You're
up.
up and running.
I'm signed up for production. Luckily, I had really nice, helpful people, and they said, what are you signed up for? What kind of gear are you running?" They looked at it and said, "Listen, we're just going to change this in this pad to limited because you're not going to be able to finish some of these stages, bud." And I went, "Fuck. Well, if they'd have been 15 round capacity, I could have shot
Yeah,
production."
as
And
long as long.
guess what? The second I shot limited, I went, "Oh, I guess I need to get stuff for limited. That's my new division, right? That's what I'm going to do." But if I would have been able to shoot 15 rounds, I could have shot production, and hey, I
Yeah.
might have fucking fell in love with it, and I already had gear that worked, and I didn't have to change anything, and boom, bang, boom, I'm a production shooter. And then I may not be such a douche I am now. Who knows?
Yeah, there was no hope for that.
Just saying.
And look, if there was steel at the match and it was 15 rounds, you still wouldn't have had enough ammo. I've seen you shoot.
Probably, but guess what? It would have been fun. All right?
You would have had a good time, and you'd
I'd have had a
watching.
damn good time doing it. But here's the thing: like there are situations that it happened to me. There's a situation that came. I mean, Kim Berry. When you go to Dragons Cup, ask Kim about the first time I showed up to a match. She'll be like, "That dumb fuck showed up trying to shoot production with 3 mags and an HK."
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen a lot of that because that's the typical loadout people have when they
yeah,
first start buying firearms. And some of them are just show up with like the what is it? Springfield has the one that comes with 3 mags and a little
yeah,
2 mag pouch.
yeah.
And then
Seriously,
show up with that, and I was like, that's cool, dude. I was like, what division do you think you're shooting?
yeah. So much so that the next purchase I made was a Canic, stayed minor,
Yeah,
bought a Canic SFX because it had 23 round mags, and I shot limited minor all the way up until I won my first major,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then switched over to a 2011,
Well, I guess the
and
big
it
one
all
is
went
going to be
downhill from there.
the big one is going to be the limited optics one. Whether that
Yeah,
now that's not a rule change, that's a provisional division
yeah. By the way, if
is what
anyone
they're
wants to
looking at doing.
jump in at any time, just request to join because we are doing a roundtable. So we will bring people in to ask questions. But after we get through this section of our opinion, once we get our opinion out there, then
Yeah,
we'll give a fuck about
listen to
yours.
us first, and then you can talk.
Yeah, yeah.
There's Brian.
Yeah, yeah. He's so into he's such a rock star, dude. I fucking love you, Brian. Uh or smoke
So
major and limited both work. Yeah, so all right, so let's go the big news.
limited optics.
Yep. What do you think?
Well, do we? I guess the question becomes: should limited optics be a division, or should we just cut it the fuck out and let people play with them in carry optics? That's the question. Because we're going to they're going to have them play in some fashion, and I've been pretty against the whole idea of 2011s being thrown into carry optics because the participation in the division is just awesome,
Yeah,
and it's
it'll just get
like,
better.
well, I don't know about get better. It's gonna make people go out. Well, it's gonna have people go out and buy a bunch of firearms, but I don't think it's gonna actually make carry optics any better. I also don't really think limited op limited optics thing it deserves its own division.
Do you remember when they upped the weight limit for carry optics?
Oh Jesus, what was it? 2 years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
You had maybe a couple hundred people who gave a fuck go out and buy a heavier gun.
No, well, I don't think. Well, I don't. Maybe I saw a lot of
Maybe.
people adding a bunch of brass to their guns, and another
Yeah,
bunch of people
cool.
that were pretty salty because they were actually having to. Was it the shadows or the tanfos, something like that? They were having to mill a bunch of weight out of the slide to allow the optic to sit there and make weight.
Yeah,
So they were
yeah,
like, "Oh, I just spent all this money milling my gun so that I can make weight." now all of a sudden you guys are like, no, let's throw a fucking brick on it. You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were a
So
bit salty.
listen, it's gonna it's not gonna change. The only thing it's gonna do, and here's the thing: if you allow single action only guns and carry optics, then all guns are gonna be able to start hammer back. That's only a
Nah,
benefit.
well, yeah, all guns as long as you have the safety applied, yes.
Yes. Which I think you should be able to do anyway. I think it's fucking stupid to have to start double action only.
Yeah, I don't understand the theory there either. Other than they're trying to keep the striker fire on the same level, but it's really not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't
And
think
at
every
that
gun. Well, okay, so Hopkins asked about magwells or not. If you're going to allow single action guns and carry optics, you're going to have to allow magwells. There's no getting around it. If you're going to be like, okay, you can shoot your 2011 in this division now, you're not going to be able to say, but no magwells, because you got to put something on the bottom of the fucking gun to hold the thing together. I
you
don't
could
know
do
any.
there's
I don't know
a way
anybody.
to do it.
I don't know anybody making a 2011 that does like where the bottom of the gun is made to just be. Well, no, there are. That's not true. There are people
All
that
the carry
have.
ones.
Yeah, they have options for that. I
Yeah,
mean, if you really
there are
wanted to keep
options.
carry optics where it was, but let the 2011s come and play, I mean, that'd be a way to do it, right?
Yeah. I
Say no
mean,
magwells.
it, yeah, I mean, to me, I don't think there's a plus or a minus when it comes to the magwells. People who know how to reload are gonna reload regardless. I don't think it's I don't think it's that much of a benefit. I really don't.
Yes, but I think you're getting away from the division then.
Are you?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
what's carry optics now? Carry optics is the new hot fun division. Hey everybody, this is where the cool kids are.
It is, but
Uh,
then let's stop calling
let
it carry
them
optics and just call it limited optics and get rid of carry optics altogether.
great.
I mean, if we're really going to go down that road and just do whatever, we need to stop calling it carry optics because we're going to be way. I mean, with the guns as heavy as they are, we're
Yeah.
already away from a carry platform.
You know what I
Uh,
think limited optics is honestly going to do more than anything? I think it's going to reduce the participation open by about 35%.
I mean, I wouldn't give it a number, but yeah. Although every time an open gun breaks, the new gun is going to be carry limited optics. Every
And
time
those
somebody breaks their
motherfuckers break a
every
lot.
time
Okay?
somebody breaks their nine
All of them.
millimeter major gun, they're immediately going to drop down to freaking limited optics. Yeah,
Yep. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Because major power factor in open is fucking stupid as it sits right now.
it
But
it worked just fine before nine.
nah.
People were still running their 38 supers just fine, and
Yeah,
they run nice.
but listen,
They
bro,
really do.
y'all had like unions and shit back then, like fucking mobs and stuff. Like that's the 30 mobs kept the 38 super comp around for the longest time. I mean, that and cartels. I mean, they're
Look,
the only ones that actually like that shit.
my
Gold 38s.
my
That's like
buddy
the hotness.
my buddy back in, oh god, I want to know. I was still shooting revolver, so this was say 2015. My buddy loaned me his open gun to go shoot some matches and try to get classified on it. And I borrowed his gun and I went and shot some matches and then forgot that I was because I'd been shooting nine for so long, I didn't pick up a single piece of brass. So every time I find a 38 super in my reloading press, I always take it out and throw it in a bucket and bring it to him at the end of the year. Here, sorry, I lost all that brass 10 years
Sorry.
ago.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't really. Here's the thing. When it comes to that, I don't care because two things. One, I don't pay for the guns. If they blow up, I'll get another one. Just make a phone call.
Again, you just only care about
But
yourself.
but but this is the thing. Listen, it doesn't.
Why do people
Here's
watch
here.
this?
Listen. It doesn't affect me because I don't care. The only thing I'm saying is for people that do spend all this money on guns and all this money on presses and ammo and everything else, it I mean it makes a huge difference, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And especially
I
when over 65% of all open shooters at nationals are shooting 9 major. Clearly it's the popular fucking caliber.
Yeah,
So
it was nice.
why not make it safe? Anyway, fuck it. We're talking about limited optics. Uh,
Nobody cares.
people are gonna hate this episode. They hate all of them anyway.
I have not seen you do a podcast where you didn't say that you wanted to get rid of major power factors, so I don't care.
Listen, it's
I'm
fine.
over it.
It's fine. But hey, limited optics. Let's get back to that. So what do you think? What do you honestly think?
Uh, I think if they're gonna do this, I think it should live in carry optics. I don't think we need more divisions, honestly, and I don't think killing a division that's currently a part of the sport because these guys don't have any place else to play. I don't think that's appropriate either. I don't think killing Revolver to make room for limited optics is the way to go.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we have people that are really dedicated to that shoot Revolver, and we have people that shoot Revolver that like the camaraderie and what we do in USPSA, and they don't. A lot of these guys that shoot that division, they don't go. They're not interested in going and shooting I-Corps. It's not the people. It's not what they want. They want to compete against these guys here in this sport and play the way we do. So if that's going to be the case, and this is a place for them to come play, I like it still being a part of the sport. I really do. Revolver and single stack, limited 10 is the only one that's a bit iffy for me. But it was always because I always understood why it existed and how the people in the states that are affected by that appreciate that sport, that division being there. So I'm not interested in seeing that go away just to make room for the newfangled thing. So.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, in the end of the day, there's a lot there. I mean, there's people who enjoy Revolver, and it's also a cool option. Real quick, Lord Manhammer 667. First off, super cool fucking screen name. But he says open is the one true division, and 9mm major is its profit. I can't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
It's a one true division, and 9 major is its profit.
Yeah, it is what it is. Kenny Platt had a good point up here, as he normally does. He said if limited optic happens, 1/3 of open shooters will go there, as will 1/3 of limited. And once that happens, most CO shooters will go there to compete with them because their current CO gun is good enough. I agree.
Yeah, and it'll be easy to transition back and forth. I did find it weird that one of the questions in the survey, if you guys haven't taken the survey and you actually have an opinion, go take the survey.
Yeah,
It
or
asked
shut
whether
the fuck up. Either take the survey or shut the fuck up.
did you take the survey? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was expecting you to say no.
Fuck no, I don't give a shit about that. That would have been so good. I should have done that. Damn it. I mean, no, I don't give a fuck about that.
No, but in the survey they asked whether or not, like in carry optics, it's required that you have a dot mounted to the gun. So I guess and they were asked the question whether or not the wording for the division should require you to have a dot on the gun to shoot in limited optics. I thought that was a really weird question. I didn't think that was necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
I ran out of fidget stuff.
Yeah,
My ADD is going to kick in.
Yeah, start drinking.
Well, no,
He said,
I'm not doing that. I have to get up stupid early tomorrow to catch a flight. So no,
Where,
bad, Trevor.
where are you headed?
Arkansas. Not for anything fun. At day job
are you gigoloing again?
Oh Jesus, is that a paying gig?
Depends.
Well, that's
on how
what
good you are.
like.
Yeah, I nicked the census, man. Survey D's. That's funny. All right, so hey, if you want to jump on here and discuss it, just request to join, or I'm just going to start throwing random people in here.
Start doing that anyway.
Anybody shooting Pan Am at the end of the month? You mean Extreme Euro or Extreme Pan American? Because yes, I am.
Shit, that reminds me. I really need to get on top of that.
You have not booked anything for it yet, have you, you moron?
Oh, I'm not going. No, but I am sponsoring it, and I have to send them my certificates, and I haven't done that yet.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty shitty at the end of the year, so.
Golly. You fucking
Oh,
suck.
that's all right. I've done worse.
That's true. I've seen it with my own eyes, unfortunately.
And took pictures.
And took pictures. This is true. All right, seriously, I'm gonna start adding people because why not? Fuck it. We're not adding Aaron Edens because nobody cares about the Open Champs opinion.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing I don't know about 15 round production is whether or not it's actually going to grow the division at all. I mean, other than helping out the people that come and shoot the match for the first time, that makes sense. But I don't know if it's actually like if people are going to be like, oh, I'm totally going back to production now that it's 15 rounds. I don't know about that.
I mean,
I don't think it's going to help.
you never know.
Everybody that dumped production to go shoot dots and carry optics are not going to run back to production. they're all enjoying being able to shoot without aiming very carefully.
Yep. We'll see if these two people jump in. Hopefully they will. Can everybody hear us all right? It's not being all scrambly because the last couple times I've uploaded an episode, it's been fucky. Where are you?
What's up? I am at my daughter's gymnastics class, but it's going for like 20 more minutes. I'm just gonna go sit in my car and rap with you guys.
Fuck it. Why not?
She'll be tumbling around on the mats without me. That's okay.
That's all right. She'll be fine. There's adult supervision.
There is adult supervision.
There's a 60-40 chance she's there when you come back.
Yeah, I can see through the glass. She's good. Keep going. Good job, sis.
Just hit the horn a couple times.
Yeah.
She's 5. I just honk at her.
That's fucking awesome. All right.
Get into a car where there's some light.
All right. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Less divisions.
So what do you think? Give us your opinion before Hopkins gets on here and kills us all.
No, I think me and Hoppy actually agree on. We pretty much agree at this point, but
yeah, I know. Me and him agree on a lot of things too. It's scary. He's so much smarter than me.
I think you got to prioritize your problems, and that the biggest problem with the divisions is that there's too many. And the only way to consolidate them down is to literally consolidate them. And the way to do that is to stop dividing up divisions based on action type. So that's what I would do. Like I would let single action guns into production. And if you just say, okay, no sight blockers, no island barrels, no, it still has to fit the box, no mag well, that's fine. Like who cares? And I don't really think that that's necessarily all that important for production, because I think production's kind of on its way out kind of no matter what you do. But for limited optics, I think if you just introduce limited optics the way it's being set forth as of right now, and don't do anything to carry optics will die, which is crazy because it's the biggest division right now. But I think that what I could imagine would happen is that a bunch of people from Open move over because they go, well, I'm tired of loading 38 Super Comp, or for whatever reason, they finally get to shoot the gun that they really love to shoot and not blow them up in the process. And they can be competitive shooting 9mm like everybody else. Limited guys that are tired of iron sights or tired of 40 cal, can't get brass, they've cracked a slide or two, whatever. I think a lot of those guys will move in. And then I think the CO shooters will realize, like, dude, my gun is really the same. Like, because they are. Like, but your gun's really the same. Slap a magwell on it, buy a race holster if you want to, and go play. And 3 or 4 years from now, again, if LO starts and CO doesn't change or anything, CO ends up being like production. It gets abandoned. Like the biggest division gets abandoned. That's what I think happens. And how to solve production, I don't know. I don't think 15 rounds is the answer personally. I'd rather it move to as many as you can cram in the mag that fits in the gun, that fits in the box, or just 140s. But maybe 15 will help, but I don't think it'll make a big difference.
Well,
so that's where
I don't think stuff in the mags is going to be any different than
I think it will be. I think it for sure will be.
Well, you'd end up with little base pads. Everyone would have little +2s that just barely fit in the box with the box closed, and you'd end up at like 19 or 20 rounds maybe. But at that point, does 20 rounds in the gun really change the game mechanic very much versus 23 with 140s? No. And like 140s already exist. Like you can already buy those for every gun. So
that's where I go back to high cap iron, high cap optic, low cap iron, low cap optic, fix everything else,
basically.
and just keep open and limited.
Yeah, the only thing you have to consider at that point is major.
Well, not only that, I had this discussion with a lot of people while I was at Worlds. I said, listen, the way to ensure that you don't have to make these changes every fucking couple years is to just make divisions that are all inclusive for the future.
That's why open and limited and PCC don't need any babying because they're already super open.
Yeah. Just listen, high cap iron, high cap optics, 140s, magwells, all the race shit. Low cap iron, low cap optic. Production style rules, fit the box, go. 10 rounds.
Yeah.
If you want to shoot low, if you want to, then it brings iron versus dot battle back and forth. You know, the low cap guys are going to try. The low cap iron guys are going to try to beat the low cap dot guys, and the low cap dot guys are going to try to keep up with the high cap iron guys, and the high cap iron guys are going to try to keep up with the high cap dot guys, and the high cap dot guys are going to try to beat the fucking open guys, and round we go. And everybody's still going to think PCC is gay.
You left out PCC irons, you hater.
Well, PCC, everyone's still going to always think PCC is gay, but
I almost don't think it matters which way you do it. I think it matters the most that the board and the president agree on the problem. And the problem is that we have too many fucking divisions, and adding a ninth is not the answer. So I think once you define a problem, then I honestly think you could come up with 3 or 4 different ways that would all solve it reasonably well. But I think that problem is maybe not being agreed upon or seen as an issue at the highest levels, and it's like, no, it's a problem. Like, I don't know. That's the way I see it. You've got half the divisions together, like all the iron sight low cap divisions, right? Of which there are 4, right? Single stack broad, L10, okay. All four of those combined constitute what percentage of participation? Like a grand total of 20%, maybe?
No, not even.
It's like, dude, no one shoots that shit. Put them all together. Like, even though that...
Hawkins, you know
it's like 1% for L10, 1% for revolver, I think 8% for production, and 6% for single stack.
Great.
Yeah, so less than 20. Woohoo! Lump them all together. Classic division, baby. We're back.
Lump them all together. Tell they do nationals for it anyway.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Make them subcategories of classic. Simple. If people want to still compete at majors, they can shoot the subcategory if there's enough people. If there's not enough people, then suck a dick. Your revolver is competing against the production guys.
They're not going to do subcategories.
Here's what I mean: is you could come up with an argument and say, hey, we think it's a real problem. We think it's a real problem that there isn't a place to shoot $1,000 optic gun that only has 15 round capacity, like whatever special carve out small thing you want to do. And you could potentially make an argument and make a division based on that, like they're about to do with limited optics, and have that be like a reasonable thing to do. If you weren't talking about going from 8 to 9, if you were talking about going from 4 to 5 divisions, maybe. But when you already have 8 and you're talking about 9, it's like, dude, there's just too many. Look at the numbers. Everyone has just abandoned half of the game and just decided, like, nah, we don't talk about Bruno. Like, we don't go there. We're just going up here. Like, this is where the meaningful competition is happening. Fuck, I did. And
Disney
I
movie?
hated optics. Yeah, sorry, Disney movie. We don't talk about it. But like, I did, and I hated optics on handguns for a long time. Slide right. I finally just said, I want to have people to shoot against.
I remember. I distinctly remember being called a fucking moron at Area 2 like 3 years ago when I brought it up to you the first time.
Yeah,
Kenny,
you're right.
You remember that? You remember that?
You just weren't right yet. Doesn't mean that you were right at the time. You're right now. Yeah, you're like a...
Everyone called me a madman.
Yeah.
Fucking Thanos.
Yeah. What do you think, Hoppy?
Boom! 6 divisions.
I feel like you and I basically agree. It's like you got to figure out what's working on the lines for divisions on, and it doesn't seem like action type matters anymore.
So like trigger system, action type. Action type is like semi-auto revolver rifle. We have those pretty much spelled out, right?
Yeah.
Rifle has its own, revolver has its own. I say let them do what they're doing and go on. If you want to add optics to revolver at some point, yeah, maybe. I'd get behind that. So now we have semi-auto. So that's where 6 of the 8 are. So you have to go in there. So what's the biggest difference? We can all say trigger system's really close. So single action only, double action, single action, and then striker fired are all basically the same at this point. I'll agree with that. So we don't have to differentiate by that. Can we all agree that comp and no comp is a big factor, right? What?
No.
Well, if you
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
I think so.
I think
Listen,
most people think-
especially when you include frame mounted
Matt,
Well, I'm not saying the
optics
biggest.
are,
I'm saying
in my
one of
opinion,
them.
a
Yeah,
bigger
optics
advantage
system.
than that.
Irons and optics. Irons
It's
and
a slight
optics is probably the
advantage.
biggest.
It's a slight advantage. But
the
comp, here's the thing:
the
if
compensator seriously keeps the gun a lot flatter.
yes, but here's the thing. Here's the thing: if you go to all the area matches for this year and you take, say, the top 5 CO masters and the top 5 open masters, and you take away major scoring, you would be extremely
Well, that's
surprised
roughly
at how
it's
close it is.
mostly
That can
5%.
mostly be attributed. It's way
is?
less than that, surprisingly. Yes, it averages about 1.4% difference with major to minor scoring back and forth. 1.4 to 2.2, somewhere in there when I did all the math. Through all the classes. Now, that can probably mostly be attributed to the fact that Open has 170 millimeter mags. That's a way bigger advantage than a comp, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, you could
Yeah,
put more rounds. in
magazine
the gun. I'm not
capacity
gonna
would be
disagree
one of
with
the
that.
also the bigger ones.
Especially when you can tune minor 9mm guns as well as you can. Have you fucking seen how flat these guns shoot nowadays? It's ridiculous. 130 power factor rounds sprung
Well,
right.
okay.
Heavy
I said
gun.
flat. Flat's not the
It's
right
ridiculous.
terminology, 'cause you can have a
Fast.
gun-
You're thinking fast, I guess.
No, I'm thinking watching the dot. When you're watching a dot on an open gun, it doesn't leave the A zone. When you're watching a dot on a slag ride, you end up with a vertical line drawn in the air before you see the dot come back down again. Regardless if you're shooting
Yeah, that's the
2011
frame mount. The frame mounted
9mm.
dot. The frame mounted dot is a huge
But
benefit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the comp plays a lot to that too. But yeah, being frame mounted is a big game changer when it comes to getting those dots to stay on the target when you shoot instead of jumping around.
Yeah, I mean I think Kenny's onto something when he says that making it a separate division could potentially kill a lot of the other divisions. I think you lump it into
But they won't go
CO and
away.
just make CO better. They won't go away, but the
We just had
participation
an
will go
argument
down.
about revolver for fuck's sake. I mean, they're not going to go away.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to go away, right? But if you can take a division that is booming right now, being CO, and you can just add one more bit of flair in there instead of creating a whole new competing division, I think that's the better option. In my opinion.
It's because it's going to.
And I agree.
If that's done, though, at what point, or is this a concern at all that is USPSA basically CO or LO, whatever one you want to call it at that point, is it 70% of the sport is shooting that? And is that a bad thing or a good thing? I don't really have an opinion either way right now.
That's where I think eventually we're going to get to a place, and I know why they're not even considering it right now.
I got a point.
We're going to get to a place where it's, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to, while it was fresh in my head, I have terrible memory. That's exactly, Hoppy, I agree with you. I think that when you get to the point, if you do what they're going to do, right? What I assume they're going to do, and LO becomes a division, provisional division, it goes crazy, it ends up being 60% of the sport or something. At that point, then if you had condensed down and gotten rid of some divisions, or not gotten rid of, but condensed into like one low cap thing, and then you have the space, then you could reimagine what carry optics could be and not what it has turned into, because what it has turned into is limited optics. You could reimagine and say, okay, where do we want to give people to play that don't want to feel like they have to spend $2,500 or $3,000 or $8,000 or whatever on an optic gun. So you could afford yourself the opportunity to then branch that off and say, okay, put out a survey. How many people would shoot, Carry Optics 2.0 or call it whatever you want, if it looked like this, if you could only have 15 rounds or whatever the capacity was, but you can't do, you actually made it restrictive in a way that says you can't have magwells, you have to go back to, lightweight guns, you set a 50-ounce weight limit or a 45-ounce weight limit or whatever the weight limit could be. You actually rolled some things back, whereas that's what I mean when I say if LO comes out and they don't roll back CO at all, CO goes away. If CO actually did get rolled back and LO got added at the same time, I think you may see a little bit of a split. Some people go, screw this, I'll gladly take my flashlight off my gun and keep shooting with my buddies. I don't want to shoot against those race guns. Whereas if you don't do that, what I think may happen is you look at your gun in your holster and go, it freaking is a limited optic. It already is. I'm just going to put a magwell on it until they actually get restrictive enough. Does that point make sense?
You know what though? That makes a lot of sense to me. Like if it was production was 15 and you had production and production optics,
right?
And then you had limited optics, that would make a lot of sense. No,
and limited.
I enjoyed Carry Optics.
High cap iron, high cap optic, low cap iron, low cap optic. We're right fucking back here. 15 round capacity for low cap. Anything you want at 141.25 for fucking high cap, guys. It's stupid. And then we keep open and limited, and we take all the fucking low cap divisions, lump them all together, classic, boom, done. We're fucking bing bang. We're set for the next 40 years until we have to make a fucking laser gun division.
Yes. At what point is there a shift?
No matter. Think about this. If you do that, nowhere in the near future will a type of gun come into this industry and into USPSA that won't fall under one of those divisions and be competitive.
Yeah, right. Until the lasers. So somebody asked,
till the lasers,
from, trying to win class division, trying to win high overall. High overall is a thing we play at local matches. When you're shooting production and you try to win high overall against open and PCC. That's not really a thing for major matches, though.
I spaced it.
Is my opinion on that. PS Shooting said, at what point is there a shift from trying to win class division, saying we have 9 divisions now, so at what point do you stop trying to win your division and just try to win high overall? That's how I read it.
When you're good enough to win high overall?
At the point you're an A-class shooter and you buy an overall. You're just trying to win overall. Baby.
Basically.
I love this division talk, but we have a long time for production and what the limited changes. We have until August to talk about those till the board has to do something on it. No, actually, we have longer than that.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to make. We don't have long for everybody to go in and
true. Yeah.
So we're having this discussion so people can go.
Which is why we're doing this now, yeah.
Tell them about their
but there's another 8 months they can do stuff with production and limited.
Yeah, but I honestly think that what really needs to happen is just the big old fucking shake of the Etch-a-Sketch board, do the high cap, low cap, iron optic, classic, whatever. But the reason they're not going to do it is they're all shell shocked.
Well, how would they implement it? How would they implement it at this point?
How would they implement it?
Can't do that.
Guys, hey guys, this is the new rule.
Trevor, it doesn't work like that.
This is the new rule.
They specifically, and I was part of it, voted on changing the bylaws to get away from that. The change.
So what's the process?
So
what's the process?
Basically, the rules committee has to put together what they want to do by August 1st.
Yep.
Yeah, voted on, sent to the member for feedback.
By the members. Great. Write a proposal. Hey guys, this is going to be all inclusive.
Why don't you do it? You
just
had the idea.
Send it out to the members. Ivor, what the?
You're like some dude that got banned is talking about a new sport. He's like, I want to do a new sport. I want to do a sport, but I don't want to put the time in to do it. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I think part
You
of the
don't think
problem.
you don't think this has been done? You don't think this has been sent around? You don't think this has been talked about with
This is
everybody who needs to be
already
talked to
being
about it?
talked about. There's already a sport where they're trying to do what Trevor's talking about.
I wonder
I think
where
part of
they
the
got that
problem.
idea.
Part of the problem
Oh,
is
you
that
think it was you? You're so.
I was the first one to bring all this up. Show me video footage. Show me video footage of somebody saying it before me, and I will.
You know what?
I will
You
shut
don't get
up.
credit. You don't get credit when somebody executes an idea you've had for 2 years. You don't get credit anymore.
Just saying. Just saying.
Hang on,
The problem is they
I
haven't
literally had that
executed.
invention.
I gotta leave.
They're going to have to execute.
I got one parting point to make. I think part of the problem is that there are a lot of people, because I've done this too. I've written up a big old proposal. I can't read. It was years ago. And I've spoken on podcasts, this one and other ones. I just did one last week where whatever. I think part of the problem is that you get option paralysis, as in the board members hear all these different solutions where it's like, here's my solution, high cap iron, low cap iron, blah, blah. Here's my solution. Like Phil puts out his solution and we come up with our, and there's so many of them. I think the first step is defining the problem. The problem is that we have too many divisions, and the way to solve that problem, of which I think there are like legitimately 3, 4, maybe 5 legitimate ways to do it, is to say that some of the things that we break down divisions based on some of the criteria, and this is Hoppy's point, it has been for a long time, don't make sense anymore. Maybe they did 20 years ago when, a Glock 17 had to try and compete with a Para P16, and they are different freaking guns. But now you're talking about a super tuned Shadow 2 versus whatever, pick your favorite 2011. They're not that different anymore. Like the factory production gun just isn't that different anymore. Even my P320, like honestly, as far as striker fired guns are considered, it's probably one of the worst triggers, even with an aftermarket trigger. And I don't care. I think it's good enough for me. I shoot my buddy's 2011, the trigger moves a third as much, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I shoot it the same. So, like, it's not even, like, advantageous for me to say, let the 2011s in. It's just, at some point, it's like, I think it would be so nice if the board would see the big overarching problem, which has been for years, that there are too many divisions, and start working on a way to consolidate a proposed 9 down to, like, at the most 5 pistol divisions plus PCC. That's at the most. I don't think our sport can, like, healthily sustain more than that, because what ends up happening is what happens right now. You've got half the divisions where only 16% of the people are shooting him, and that number will be smaller this year. It won't be bigger. Like we know that it's not going to be bigger. It's going to get crazy where you've got completely dead divisions. So I got a jet. I'm going to keep listening, but I got to go get my girl. Thanks, guys.
Totally.
Bye.
See you later. So somebody asked when the provisional division will start. I didn't think it was set up.
It's not yet. They're going to talk about it at the board meeting.
No.
Assuming they vote on it, yes, they'll probably put a date of, it's going to start X date. And they'll put that on the minutes.
Well, we have already got, apparently, I don't know if you all got an email, but I got an email from USPSA saying, hey, clubs, relax your tits. The division hasn't started yet. Please don't submit results for limited optics.
Yep.
It's like as soon as it went out, people were like, "Fuck it, I'm going," and they started shooting it and started sending in results.
Go!
And they're like, whoa, relax. Not a thing yet.
Yep.
So
people
do want it. I think there's a spot for it. I think we need to. I think you break up the divisions on. It's basically, everybody calls them game mechanics. Like we said, sighting system, comps, no comps, magwell, no magwell. I think weight of the gun has a lot to do with it, coming from polymer guns, shooting Shadow 2s now, and coming from originally from Shadow 2s. I think weight of the gun matters more than the trigger system in CO. Eventually, if everybody goes into LO, everybody will get magwells. I think 2011s have a huge advantage with magwell options at this point. That's just going to take some of the aftermarket time to catch up. But I think the most interesting thing throughout all this, we talk about divisions because it's a fun thing to talk about, but the rule changes for like stage setup and those are actually way more interesting and will add way more to the sport than all these division changes will.
I didn't take that survey yet.
What a fucking asshole. Oh, you're the biggest piece of shit I've ever met.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Oh.
I haven't made
Wow.
time to actually
Wow,
take
bro.
I took the division one, but I didn't take the rule changes one. I think what happened is I got caught up and I accidentally started reading the one on multi-gun. And I was like, all of this makes like sense. Like, I don't know why this is a debatable thing. It was all like cleaning things up. And I just skipped past the whole USPSA rule changes. I didn't look at it yet at all.
So
yeah. I have sent like 3 people invites and they've declined it. They are so scared to come onto this conversation.
Are they currently sitting board members? Oh, okay.
No. I'm not. I mean, they would come on. I know they would. They've come on these before.
Tom's asking about the rule changes. So I think all the rule changes except for one where they talk about the one that I didn't think was interesting or should be done is where they get rid of being able to make activating targets. So like swingers, bobbers, all that stuff. It has to be hidden at level 1 matches if they do the rule change. I think that'll just make it harder for level 1 matches to do stage setup, so I don't think they should do that one. I think they should do everything else they've talked about. And getting the key, so the biggest thing I think was they redefined what a short, medium, and long course is. They put round counts on it, so 1 to, I think they did 12 as a short course, 13 to 20 as a medium, 21 to 32 is a large course. Then they also added in where you could do single-hand shooting for the entire course of fire, up from just short courses or last 6, and they said you could do it on a short and medium course. So you can have a strong hand only up to 20 rounds with these changes now, and I think that'll add a lot to the. You'll be able to test more doing that.
Yep. Definitely, being able to do that as a match director would create different stage opportunities. There was one recently that I would have totally done that if that was a thing. PC
well, yeah.
Won that stage
I think this is one that I like that Trevor saw at World Shoot. They're allowing mini targets, or I think they're half-scale targets, to be used on stages.
Yes.
There's been more stipulations. There's been more stipulations.
Nobody ever.
They're allowing them on any match now, if that change happens. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
See if we can get lucky here. Maybe not. We'll see. Be on your best behavior. Just kidding.
Do I have to?
Do that.
I'll jump off.
Tom said, "Fuck mini targets." What do you have against mini targets?
They're
mini
fun.
targets were dope.
They're very fun. I like
shooting those, right?
That's the only match I've ever seen them done at. Use that.
Same here. I didn't even know that was a thing. I walked up to the stage and I'm like, "Is this a fucking joke? What is this?" And somebody, one of the tie shooters who spoke decent English was like, "You've never seen this before?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Oh, you're in for a treat, motherfucker." I was like, "Oh, shit. Here we go." Oh, they're not stupid, Tom. Don't be such a lame ass.
They're definitely easier to bag.
The only problem is they don't make waterproof targets in it yet.
They're not headshots. By the way, is the audio still good on this, listeners? Let me know. If the audio ever gets fucky, let me know.
Did they put hardcover and shit on the half targets over there?
Oh, yeah.
I think they allow. I think that was one of the changes also.
It was badass.
Yeah, they had a mini target on a swinger. It was cool.
Dope as fuck.
Well, I think with the current rules, you can do that.
Yeah, you can.
Put it on a swinger. You just can't put any hardcover on it.
You cannot attach it. So I think another change was you can't attach it to a no-shoot. You can't put a no-shoot behind it.
Right, you can't make it
Right.
look like
Well,
somebody's holding a baby. That was the thing. Like, don't shoot the baby, but the mom's okay. Like, what the fuck?
Oh God. Hey, what do you guys think about just getting away from the USPSA target altogether and
I
going
think if you
lipsticks?
did that, you need to add a different target. You have to have a substitute for it.
I like.
You don't think just using the why?
Yeah,
Just use the IPSC target. It's already exists.
Well, because as a
already a
stage
thing.
designer, there's more
We're the-
options. There's more things to do with a headbox target, and it's
Is
a
there?
more difficult target. It's a more difficult target to shoot when you're shooting at the headbox. It's scored completely fucking different when you have this much to hit, and you got C zone all around it, and people get sloppy and just take the C's, and the good guys go up there and punch alphas. You wouldn't know. But,
I think a problem that no one thinks about is the amount of, so if you look at that target, how much you can staple on a stick compared to a USPSA target. And they fall down and they're not as good like hanging up for the duration that they need to be. So I think if you made a target, if you lop the head off, whatever, I don't have an opinion on that at this point. We're not getting on TV. We're not doing that at this point. We're not getting in the Olympics. It's just not going to happen.
No. Well, some people think we can. I don't know. It's not one of my. I think it's possible things, but I've been wrong before, so I'd love for it to be wrong. I wouldn't be on the team, but it'd be interesting to watch.
I think people glorify IPSC because they don't know about it. They just hear about it from other people. IPSC has its own problems. Like, IPSC does good stuff. We do good stuff. IPSC has bad stuff. We do bad stuff. Yeah.
Everything has problems.
So
everything has problems. Ideally, you'd be able to take the best of both and stick it together.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get a common ground.
I think the way that we have it. I think the way that we have it here in the States, where you can go to a match that has both targets on different stages. If you put the same two stages up, and you put the USPSA target, like say it's a speed shooter or a hoser, and you put both stages up, one with USPSA targets, one with IPSC targets. You'd see people drop a shitload more points on the turtle targets than they would on the freaking USPSA targets because they're used to shooting at that big ass A zone. You get guys that are that actually dry fire or go and practice shooting at the turtle targets. They go out and they I don't know if you guys have done it, but I go out and I feel like I've got an entire extra target to shoot worth of A zone. It's crazy. Yep. So it's definitely a bit of a game changer when you're walking a stage and you're looking at, okay, this one's IPSC targets. I got to be a little bit more conservative, especially with the slanted hardcover. I got to be more conservative with my shots on this one versus if it was the same slanted hardcover on the USPSA target, I could go a little bit harder on that one. It's a different game with those targets, I think, especially when you take in the head box.
You think we should drop sight pictures on Make Ready?
Why?
I thought it was kind of interesting to not sit there and dry fire your first target 14 times.
With us trying to do optics,
plus it moves so quick. Yeah, you just literally you come up, you turn your fucking dot on.
I kind of like it.
Bam.
IPA.
I love it.
I don't see many people I don't see where it slows down matches. Now you'll have outliers where I don't see it, Trevor. I just don't see it.
You're wrong. Holy shit, you're wrong.
Bro, it's an extra 30 to 45 fucking seconds on every shooter.
Have you RO'd a stage at a major match, Matt?
You know how many major matches I've sat there and watched
just watching dudes all day long. It's why I don't do it. I don't do it at all, man. I go up and I will unbag my gun, load it, holster it, shoot the stage.
I've listened to entire songs on my AirPods during somebody's fucking Make Ready. I swear to God. I've had a song start and then go, Make Ready. And then I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I hear the song end and a new one begin. And he's like, and I'm like, I want to kick you in the fucking throat. That's what I want.
Would that actually?
All right, so IDPA used to be no sight pictures at all. And then when they allowed optics, people were bitching so bad, like, I need to know if my fucking optic is even on before I start the stage. So they started.
Yeah, you're allowed to come up, turn your dot on. Yeah.
Right. You're also only supposed to have 2 minutes to clear malfunction.
Or
shut up for a minute. You're only supposed to have 2 minutes to clear malfunction, and you don't see RO standing there with a timer going beep when you start clearing your fucking death jam on your broken link on your 2011, do they? No, they just sit there and patiently wait because nobody starts a fucking timer. What are we gonna do? We're gonna start a timer like you got 10 seconds. Beep.
Yeah, I think you just fucking just and go.
I think what it will be is a cultural 100% away from these 100%. Ridiculously long. Yeah, it's a rule change.
I also like the idea.
A cultural change of like, let's stop doing this to ourselves would be amazing.
It won't happen. You'll have to just change the fucking rule, bro.
We'll have to stop.
I also like the idea of not walking the stage until it's your turn to shoot the stage. I thought that was super fucking interesting, and I think it adds a new element to shooting that adds another layer of difficulty.
Where did you run into this at? I've done it to myself, but was it a World Shoot thing? So
Pan American too, they did it.
Why we wouldn't do it here? So if you had the advantage of being able to walk the stages, if you had the advantage of being able to walk the stages when nobody else could,
100%. Whoever.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So would you staff a match so that you could go walk all the stages and try to win the match?
Some people would. I am sure some people would do that. Yes.
I would staff a match to go walk stages.
Nobody staffing the match. Nobody staffing the match most likely wins the match. When's the last time a staff member won the match?
But a staff member
when's
doesn't get
the last time
walk the stages for 30 minutes.
When's the last time? But that's the thing. When's the last time a staff member did that? No, they wouldn't. Staff shoots before. Staff shoots before the shooters. So you still can't walk the stage. No, you still can't walk the stages until it's your turn to shoot. How?
You do walk the stages when you're there building the stages, and then you're going around painting fault lines, and you're hanging targets, and you're checking for shoot-throughs. All of those are opportunities to walk the stages. And they do it. We do it.
You can have that
building
advantage.
A match.
Take it.
Right? But that would be an advantage.
Somebody's going to see you do something different, and the shooters are going to find out about it. It's not going to change anything.
Right now, the advantage is, so let's even take that away. It'll be videos. I'll jump on and see the knuckleheads that posted their stage runs, and I'll be like, oh, wow. Oh,
Trevor, we did this. You did this at World Shoot, and it was the only reason I was able to. I knew the stage. So my World Shoot travel getting there was horrible. I landed 12 hours before my first shot had to be fired. The only reason I knew the stages is because Trevor used HackCam and sent it to all the U.S. team. And
you're welcome. Because I'm a goddamn American.
It's 100%. There are people that are on staff. Yeah.
And guess what? Guess what? We won a lot of gold medals there, didn't we? Fucking America. It's like World War II all over again.
I think a more interesting question than the make ready and getting on the stages early is cutting across fault lines and outside the shooting area.
That to me is pretty cool.
My proposal.
I thought it.
Yeah, my proposal is, and I didn't come up with this. I heard this from either Mason or Kaylee. Is you give the stage designers kind of like Virginia Count Comstock. You allow it to be like within fault lines or outside of fault lines, and you tell it during the stage briefing, and you make it well known ahead of time. So you offer that option to stage designers and match directors to put in their matches, not a all this way or all that way. You giving them the option.
That really would be huge for stage design. I mean, well, for stage design, it would be huge because you'd be able to be a little bit more limiting, keeping people in the same track. Yeah, it would be interesting.
Yeah, I honestly thought that the fact that, one, I think it simplified, it really simplified your walkthrough. It simplified you how you decided to attack the stage. it also made stages where I looked at the stages and I said, if this was USPSA, the stage would fucking suck because I would do X, Y, and Z. And the stage would be 7 seconds faster and everyone would do it. And instead, it was a really fun stage with some really cool options and some hard shots and some hard manipulation you had to do with your feet. And it made it that much better. I think that is a tool in the toolbox of stage designers that would be really neat if they could go, all right, on this stage, stay in the fault lines, motherfuckers. Or hey, on this stage, do whatever you want. I think it's like start anywhere or start here, right? It's another tool in the toolbox to make the stage more interesting.
Yeah, that's not something I even considered. I wouldn't want it to be all one way, or not. I wouldn't want it to be all only within the fault lines. But to be able to say that, you know, it's one way or the other, that would be cool as a stage designer. Jesus.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to be on a flight tomorrow just designing imaginary stages.
All right, I'm going to drop off. I think you should have some other people on here if they want to come on.
All right, anybody? Nobody wants to come.
How do I leave? Oh.
Everybody just wants to listen. I'll kick you out. Bye, Matt. Thank you. All right, somebody jump in here.
It's just us again. No,
It's
that
just
was
me and you.
that was a new one for me. I had never considered that before. That'd be pretty cool.
I didn't either until he brought it up. See, this is why we keep Matt around. He just brings up good shit, you know. But that would be a pretty cool tool in the toolbox. I mean, I haven't designed a whole lot of stages, but you have. I'm sure your mind is going fucking bananas with that information.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd be able to go back and reuse some old stages and just say stay within the fault lines. It would completely change the way it was shot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, pretty cool. Well,
Would
shit,
be really,
if we've
really
already
cool.
milked this cow for all it's worth, we don't have to try to drag it out.
No, we've got some more people. Hold on.
Are they coming in?
Yeah.
Yo, dude.
Boom.
How's it going?
Welcome. This is now the second time you've been on the podcast
I
before your daughter.
reluctantly jumped in, man. Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on all this?
Fault lines, 100%, man. I agree. I think what you said, Mason, Kaylee, about giving stage designer the option, that's probably the best of both worlds. Overall, my thoughts are like IPSC match structure and design. I think I like it significantly better than USPSA. Gear rules, I think USPSA has the gear rules nailed down really well. Better than IPSC.
What do you think about limited optics?
No, I think
it should be its own thing.
Yeah,
you think it should jump into CO?
I'm a fan. I think it's going to be big. No.
Do you think it should just be lumped in, or you want it to be its own thing? I think separate thing is good.
Okay. Look.
Okay. Do you think it's eventually going to lead to just high cap iron, high cap optic, low cap iron, low cap optic?
I don't know. Who knows? That's hard to see. Just how long we've held on to like limited 10 and revolver and all that. So, yeah,
we've held on to a lot of dumb shit. So
old habits die hard. But limited optics.
Old people die hard. That's the problem.
We also set up all the damn matches. Yeah. What the fuck? You're like, F you all you old people. We're like, we are the ones doing all the work.
Listen, we still need you, right? But we just don't want you to enjoy yourself. It's fine.
Done.
Y'all don't count as old. I'm talking about like old. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you've got an AARP card and a handicap placard,
Not yet.
No.
We devolved.
Get out of here
again.
Yeah, no, I think limited optics.
Keep
I think
going.
it's pretty big. I think people want more dot divisions. Everybody wants to shoot a dot. Iron sights are kind of dying, and I think there's room for it. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm a fan of limited optics. I think it'll start slow, just like carry optics. Look, when carry optics started, nobody wanted it. The open shooters didn't want it. They thought it was a terrible idea. Just open pores. Now we see the same thing coming from the carry optics crowd, saying nobody wants limited optics, but it'll start off slow, and 3 years from now, it's going to be a huge division.
Yeah. No, I got no disagreement there that it will be big. It's just whether or not it deserves its own spot.
We got PCC.
Yeah. But here's the thing: they can all if it becomes its own thing, right? It's whatever proposed division. It has a year or something before it becomes permanent. So let's say it does well, and they go, okay, we've had some time. We've had some time to see how this goes. Now we've thought it out. Let's just smack it in there. Or they say, hey, this could stand on its own and be of huge benefit. I think that's the idea behind making it a 1-year tryout like normal.
It's not about it being a
year.
So what they're doing is they're making it a provisional division because they can't actually activate it as a new rule until January 2024, regardless of whether it's the most amazing thing ever or it bombs. So
but I think that does add to the thing of let's see how this goes, and I think it's going to be.
I guess if they see a bunch of draw from carry optics leaving carry optics to go shoot limited optics, that might be a better indicator that it just needs to live in carry optics.
Yeah, I think if you're going to see
carry optics to allow the magwells is where the question will come in.
Why wouldn't you, bro? You can have a fucking thumb rest. You can have a flashlight. You can put a 40-pound brass weight on the front of it. You can have most carry optics guns are heavier than my open gun, by the way.
Yeah.
So
or at least they're allowed to be.
Yeah. Fuck it. Why not? The new Beretta, the Beretta 92X, 7 ounces heavier. So
I would like
to
see cares
at this point?
I'd like to see
just throw a fucking magwell on it.
Between limited optics and carry optics. I mean, I think there's room for the whole separate division, but I would love to see carry optics reduce the mag capacity. I'd like to see carry optics go
low cap optic, low cap iron, high cap optic, high cap iron. Here we go, baby.
But it was originally 10 rounds when it first came out. And I remember because my kids started shooting the division was 10 rounds.
Yeah.
10
rounds sucks.
For me.
15's good.
Shit, my kid's been shooting longer than you? Is that what you just said, Trevor?
Yeah. Actually, for sure. Definitely. Tom's all in his feelings. I would have Tom on here, but I don't feel like getting yelled at the top of his lungs for 15 minutes.
He will totally yell at you.
Yeah, yeah. This is fucking stupid! Every time.
And I take
You'll be like,
take these out.
Yeah, all right, hold on. Siri, reduce volume.
But yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at, man.
I agree. I'd be interested to see. I think. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think it's going to pull. It's going to pull open shooters and limited shooters away. It's going to pull CO shooters away.
Yep.
It's going to pull some limited 10 guys away. Well, not really. They're just going to run. I think that's why they're doing the dot thing in limited 10 is so limited optics. Guys who want to try limited optics but live in a band state can just do limited 10. But
it's not going to create new shooters, is everything you just said.
Yeah, it's just going to pull. No, I think it will definitely create some new shooters. Think about this.
From where?
Think about this for a second. I just want to.
I'm waiting for you just to spit it out.
All right, you're still talking. No, but what was it? 60 some odd thousand 2011s were sold in the U.S. last year, right? Less than 1% of them fit into a USPSA division with no competitive disadvantage. So those shooters are somewhere. Look at tactical games. Look at 3-gun. Look at all the 3-gun guys could just come right over and have some fun, right? Think about all the people who are now at their local range with their fucking fancy $2,000 2011 it's probably got a plastic grip on it, whatever. Those guys now go, oh shit, this is allowed. Oh,
Trevor.
now I can go
No,
play
Trevor,
without having to look
Hold
like
up.
a
I don't
poor
think those
person. And no
guys
You
are,
misunderstand.
not competing because of there's a disadvantage. It just those sports probably appeal to
No,
those
I'm
people
not.
more than USPSA.
It's like
Listen.
sash shooters. You're not going to get sash shooters to come over because we're allowing single action revolvers. All right.
Listen.
But what you just said, but is not. I don't think it needs to be a separate division to draw new shooters in. I think if those guns were allowed in carry optics as it is, then whatever draw we were going to get from those guys would end up in carry optics. That's
Let me
the
ask you a
division
question.
where those guns will run.
Let me ask you a question. You are a car guy, right? You like cars. You like fast cars.
Okay. I'm a dude, so.
So listen, right? You decide, hey, I'm gonna start taking this, car that I enjoy to the track. Start tossing around the track a little bit. Man, I enjoy this car, right? But my car is over what say you have like a Porsche 911, just stock 911, right?
You're killing me with this. This
Shut
is a
up.
terrible
Just listen.
comparison.
Just listen.
Oh my God,
It's not.
you're
It's
so
not.
Come on,
complicated.
Just
let's be
listen.
quicker.
Just listen. Yeah. That guy is not going to go race that car in an association because that car doesn't fit a box, right? If he goes and races with the people that his car fits in, he's up against cup cars, right? But if he wants to race in the lower divisions and not spend a couple $100,000, he's got to go buy a different car. Or they say, hey, by the way, now we're going to allow that in this division of racing. You don't think that guy's going to go, oh shit, let me go try a race?
Trevor,
you're fucking stupid if you think he's not going to.
I wasn't arguing with you against allowing the guns into a division. I was saying that it doesn't need to be. I don't think it needs to be its own separate limited optics division.
Oh, I agree. Just throw it into carry optics.
We're arguing about the same point for that.
No. You're saying he was saying. I was talking more to him. Listen. He was saying that he doesn't think it's going to draw new shooters in. I think the exact opposite. I think it's going.
I think you'll see very few new people. What I think it has the potential to do is it may have the potential to extend the amount of time someone spends in the sport. And we see people burn through it. I mean, I don't know what the life expectancy is of a shooter. I think it's about 5 years is where I see people cycle through.
It was 3 for me. It was 3 for me. If I didn't move to a different division, I just wouldn't.
So that's what I think it offers, is maybe somebody stays in the sport another couple of years because there's a new division, something that's attractive to them, something interesting, gives them a reason to buy a new gun. I think that's where it may benefit the sport.
That's a good
possibly. Yeah. But I
that's a good point.
think it also brings in more opportunity for advertisement for the sport, for sponsorship for the sport, for everything that's good for the monies, adds it to the sport.
Wait, why do you think sponsorship adds to the sport?
More money, more dollars.
We've already had this discussion. Sponsorship actually does not help major matches except for nationals. It doesn't do anything to help the match. Very rarely do you get something that actually helps the match from a sponsor.
So what would help the match?
We've had that discussion.
What helps the match? What helps the match?
Money.
How do you get money?
Sponsoring something such as, I don't know. I've sponsored porta potties. I've sponsored dumpsters. Sponsoring a match in a way that actually helps the match be better is different than sponsoring the match with product.
No. I'm saying sponsor
with product
dollars.
What we do.
Saying sponsored
dollars helps.
I don't think that
it's not a thing in this sport.
Matches shouldn't accept product for sponsorship. That's stupid.
But that's not how we've done things for the longest time.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I think it's stupid.
That's why when people say sponsorship is like a huge part of the sport, it's except for nationals, it helps every other match very little. We do it for the prestige and to get to help these sponsors showcase that, they're part of the sport and get them. But it's a lot of work for match directors. It's a lot of work for sponsor coordinators, and it really benefits the match very little.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a guy that's worked all different levels, including filling out cards to send money to a match right now. So, well, I'm sending them gift certificates because it's gift certificates and product, because that's what they asked for, and that's what I can send. So,
cash money. That's what we should get, cash money. Ooh, I doubt this person will come on, but
so
crazy shit's happened.
You got somebody else joining?
Maybe.
Oh.
Tom, the difference is I'm not stupid enough to think I could do it.
Oh.
It's fucking. It's a stupid statement.
I don't know what I did to break the comment section, but I can't see any new comments at all. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Trevor, I'm going to hop off, dude. It was good to see you. Take it easy.
All right, brother.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, bud. I don't know. You got somebody else coming on? Because I think we run this conversation through its course.
We're gonna throw fuel on a fire one time, and then we'll end it hopefully quick after that.
What do you got now?
You'll see.
Oh, no.
Turn your ears down.
Oh. I don't have a good enough microphone.
Yeah, turn your volume down. It's about to get real loud. For everyone listening at home, I'm sorry if this person joins. It's gonna get rowdy.
Make sure you use
the
audio editor on the podcast.
I do. I master volume everything. Sometimes that doesn't help. Oh, Tom, don't be fucking lame, bro. He said not joining. What up, pussy?
All right. Well, we've run its course, man.
Yep. Sounds like it. Yep, Tom's being a. Oh, never mind. See, he's so easily pressured.
Got me.
All right, tell me how you really feel, Tom. All right, here, I'll start for Trevor. You don't know what you're talking about. You've never run a match. You're a fucking idiot. You don't even shoot carry optics. Shut up. Your opinion doesn't matter.
So here's the thing, dude. You have never run a match, and you come on here. I love you. But you come on here all the time and talk all this shit about all these changes, but you've never even put a pacer on a target or set up stages or shit at a match. And I love you, dude, but come on, man. Like, there's so many people that come on here and talk all this shit about all the changes, and they barely paced. I'm just saying. So anyway, love you, bro. But what do you guys think about the E-Men podcast? I'm interested because there was a little bit of, I mean, I didn't get any heat because I just interested in what you guys think. I think you did a pretty good job, man. I think, it is in a tough spot. I think anybody who's in that board of directors section right now is in a tough spot. I don't think you can do anything right. So, yeah.
Nope.
I'm interested, because I think, I asked them the question.
I thought it was a really
I asked them some
good
tough
podcast,
questions,
though.
and I kind of knew some of the answers just because of that's kind of the answers we already have, right? Like I don't think they're going to jump out there and tell us the answer for everything. But they're not really giving the answers to the guys that got suspended either. And I think that's kind of shit, in my opinion. I mean, if you don't want to say it out publicly, you should at least give it to the guys who got suspended. Whether they're giving that truth answer, maybe they have given it to them. We don't know, So, but I kind of figured the lawyers were definitely involved.
Who knows? Tom, it was really good. But Tom, what do you think of the new rule changes?
I just don't change carry optics, man. It's the most popular division. I think it's a really great division. My opinion about almost every division right now is the reason why a lot of these divisions aren't staying popular is because of round count. If you put more rounds in guns, people want to shoot those divisions. Like the other thing is, and I didn't really even think about it until we did the podcast with G-Men, the production division is not really the starter division. Limited is. So almost every new person that comes to our matches are getting stuck in limited. So when those shooters come into limited, they're not going to be competitive, right? Because they've never shot before. But if they stay in limited, they learn they can't compete in that division anymore because they're shooting minor versus major. I just don't think you should change the most popular division. I like the chance that you have an opportunity. So I had a brain fart. What's the name of when they do the temporary division to try it out? Provisional. I think that's a great idea. Also, like talking to E-Men, they have 2 years they can do a provisional division. You don't really get any kind of real results from a new division until like 4 years in. So if you get 2 years of actual, like, Carry Optics has been 6 or 7 years. It's only been popular in the last 2 years. Like it made an explosion in the last 2 years, right? So that's 7 years before we actually said, "Oh man, this is really working," right? So how are you going to throw limited optics in there and then expect to get real information? Well, I'll be 14 years into this division, and we'll go, "Oh, it didn't work," or limited optics is working, or it's, you know what I mean? You got to give it a shot on its own. And I just don't think, I mean, everybody bitches and complains about how we're changing all the time. Then they want to go change the best and most popular division out there right now. Sounds like a great idea. Put it in zone.
Oh, right. I didn't want any changes at all. I was excited for nobody to make any
He was all for it, Tom. Don't let him fool you. He was all for it. He said, "I'm in. I agree." He said, "Throw it into Carry Optics." Don't let him fucking lie to you. Don't kowtow because Tom's on here.
But I would have been excited if we made no changes at all. No proposed changes for a couple of years. That would have been awesome. But since we're making changes and we're thinking about making all these changes, like, all right, well, let's talk about it. Shit.
Tom, let me ask you.
Would we like it or not?
Tom, I have a question. And keep in mind, I mean, I know I've never done anything.
You pay your money, bro. You're a great contributor to this sport, and you pay your money. Thank you.
Yeah, I've never helped set up matches or our own matches.
Well, no, you have never pasted a target either. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, never pasted a target either. I've done all of those things, Tom. But listen, what do you think about making one big change that'll just stand?
I heard what you said, bro. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're turning this sport into something completely different by doing these division changes. And you're not gonna have a USPSA the way it is, which I get it. Everybody wants to make a little change here and there, but what's wrong with having 9 divisions? If you have, let's just say we had 15 divisions. The divisions that don't get shot will disappear. They already have. No one shoots revolver. Almost no one shoots single stack, right? The only people that really get pissed about these divisions or having too many divisions are the guys who want to win high overall that are never going to win high overall anyway, right? Like, I mean, if you took it,
I have no problem with more. I have no problem with more divisions. I think more divisions, 1 nationals, 2 nationals max, right? 2 nationals, more divisions.
So just think about all the people that talk bad about like the divisions, like no one's shooting this, no one's shooting that. As soon as it has its own standalone nationals, it sells out. Production sells out every year when it's by itself. Single stack sells out every year, or damn close, by itself every single year, because there's nothing else to compete against it. It's when you jam everything together, people are going to pick the gun that they're going to do the best with, right? They're not going to pick production or revolver against the open guys. They're going to go, screw that. I want to be competitive. I want to see where I am high overall. I don't want to be 58th. I want to be 22nd or first. You know, I mean, that's the difference. You see this all the time when guys will.
Yeah, but you're only thinking about high-level shooters.
No,
people that are still
I have a buddy. Listen, I have a buddy of mine who literally went out and bought an open gun so he would do better at the locals high overall. And I'm not shitting you. I'm not, dude. You have no idea how many there are. There are a ton of those.
That's an edge case. I still have a first place C-class revolver trophy hanging on my wall, bro. People get excited about the middle, the lower levels, not lower levels, but the different classes. The, like, you know, you got people that get
lower level.
Well, lower.
Way to shit on the little guy.
Still accurate,
Bill.
It's still accurate.
Way to shit on the little guy.
Whatever. What's my lowest classification? I think it might be.
What an elitist piece of shit. Listen, I shoot limited 10 nationals
But
every year.
again,
I
it's
enjoy it.
because that's what's available for you to shoot. If they gave you an option at open versus limited 10, you're not picking limited 10, which means the reason everyone says limited 10 is dead is because it's not a division that you put against something else. If you put limited 10 and open, you ain't seeing a whole lot of limited 10 people, right? It's when you make it by itself that you're going to, if you had limited 10 by itself, I know people are going to be like, oh, no. If you put a limited 10 nationals by itself, that some bitch would sell out. I guarantee it. Because it's a nationals. It's a nationals.
Oh, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
Well,
it would. Everybody who shoots limited would go
10,
shoot it.
Trevor's shooting limited 10 at a match where there's revolvers and single stack as well, but he chooses limited 10 every time.
I don't own a revolver or a single stack. I own a limited gun. Although I do have a pretty sweet single
honestly,
stack
like
on the
in Trevor, like in that, and I'd say in Trevor's defense on that is he shoots limited all the time. It makes sense to just go cool, or a 2011 in general. Okay, cool. I'll just take my rounds down. You don't have to change the gun. You have the same setup. You don't have to go buy another gun. That's why limited 10 is still around. So it gives somebody an opportunity to shoot that division when it's available, right?
Honestly, it's hard, man. You got to count to 10. I mean, you got to count to 10. That's pretty hard. Instead of just filling it all the way up till it doesn't go anymore, I got to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then somebody will talk, and I'm like, fuck. Empty it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Trevor. Fuck! And to empty it out. 1, 2, 3. It takes me like 9 hours to load max.
I like how you just admitted.
I told you, bro. I told you.
Hey,
I told you. You're always
it's a lot of loading. It's a lot of loading. It's a lot of loading.
I do. I mean, I don't think change is a bad thing. I think we have this big thing where like all of a sudden we can't change anything in our sport. Like we have a lot of change. I think if they're open about what they want to do and they make the changes because everybody agrees or doesn't agree. I mean, you can't even get people to agree that to allow someone to come in with a different gun. I mean, people are arguing and fighting. F that. We have too many divisions. I'm like, the last time I checked, I didn't see all the divisions sold out at my local. Right? It's the same 5 divisions that are shooting. We have 9, and I have the same 5 divisions shooting my local. So it's like, do I have to go, oh, we can't have a revolver? Because no, they just don't come. They don't shoot it. We don't see single stack unless they want to be by themselves and win the match. Right? I mean, and yes, there are people that still shoot single stack because there's not a lot of shooters in it and they get to have a good result in their class or whatever the hell it is. Let them shoot, man. Who gives a shit if there's 47 divisions? It doesn't make sense to me to sit there and go, you can't have your gun. What the hell are we doing in the sport? We're giving somebody a place to come shoot. I don't know. That's just me, man. I just don't understand why everybody else wants to tell everybody else they can't have their shit. That's just me, bro.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with you are spreading out the amount of quality competitors into a larger pool, into separate pools. And you're not like high overall is not really a thing that matters except for the top level guys that really want to see that. Right. So being able to compete against people, you send, the top 10 shooters off to go shoot matches and they each pick their own, one of the 9 divisions that go play in, and now you've only got one of those guys competing in those divisions. Where if you have a more condensed setup, you've got maybe half of those guys playing in one division, and it makes it more interesting. It keeps the level.
I'll give you a better one. Why don't we stop blaming the gun or the division and blame the shooters for not manning up and going to the division to shoot against everybody else? It's not the damn gun that's doing this. This is the shooters going, hey, I'm going to shoot production instead of open because I got a better chance of winning a national championship. Or, hey, I'm going to go shoot, I'm going to go shoot a gun with iron sights instead of shooting open where all the heat is. Or you name it. There's lots of reasons why people don't go and chase the competition when they can chase the title. And this isn't to bang on anybody. This isn't about anybody individual. But the gun doesn't choose the division. The person does.
Say the name,
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Jesus.
You wanna talk about it like that? Then it's not. The shooters are the people that decide when the divisions have heat, right? Carry Optics has heat because it's the only thing that we shoot at. It's the only division because it's the only big one that everybody goes to. If you do all of nationals with only production, bro, all the top shooters are going. JJ, Nils, all of them are going to that match. All of them, because there's nothing else, right? I mean, you might not see a PCC match sell out because not everyone shoots that, and I get that, right? But when you had a full PCC only match, that son of a bitch sold out, or damn near. It was close. It's when you give individual nationals, which kills this sport because of the money. That's when those guns, all of a sudden everyone's like, cool, I'm going to go shoot nationals. But when you say revolver versus limited 10 or even revolver versus production, production's going to dominate that. Right?
So do you think we should just have one big nationals?
Me personally, no, because, bro, I'm always chasing a title, right? Like, I'm that guy who always wants, and I really like the competition. Like, dude, if I see, like I like shooting open because of the great shooters that are in open. I think Carry Optics Nationals is amazing because of the competition. But I'm that guy who's like, man, revolver's hot. I'm going to go get a revolver and go beat the good guys, right? It's not just the gun. It's also the dudes that I shoot against that I want to beat, right? There's a lot. I'm just different like that. I'm chasing I want to be the best. A lot of people just want to win a trophy. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. It's just, you don't give when you get really good in this sport, you forget what it was like to be that C-class guy and busting your ass just to win C. Right? And then we're like, oh no, you can't have that gun because we don't shoot it. No, screw you, bro. Who are we? That's all. Yep. That's just my opinion, bro. Yep. I mean, I just, and everybody knows I give it.
Yeah, no shit.
Loudly.
No.
All right, boys. I'll let you go, man. I was on the range all day giving some lessons, so I just, thanks for inviting me on. I just want to, you're doing a good job, bro. Just like I said, you have to think about everybody, right? And we always talk about, the 2A thing and how everybody, we're all gun supporters, bro. We can't even get along people listen to an interview and they're like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit. I'm like, what did he say wrong? He answered exactly what he was supposed to answer in. He gave the answer that they can only give. You can't give another answer other than the lawyers told me to shut my mouth. That's smart. But he's a big dumbass. I'm okay. And then, he made an analogy and everyone's like, oh, he's talking about the Mormon church and comparing us to. I'm like, it was almost as bad as your car analogy that you used an hour ago, bro. It shit was terrible. Terrible.
So terrible.
It was a great analogy.
I tried to stop him.
It was a great analogy. Y'all just weren't smart enough to understand it. You were too busy ridiculing instead of listening.
He's like, bro, if you push the
cars and guns, and
he goes, bro,
that's the wrong one.
He's like, I can't afford a Porsche.
Bro, you push the right pedal and then the left pedal, and then you hammer down on the brake pedal, and you hit the say, I don't know, whatever. I'm just saying, Bill, you shut the hell up, man.
When all else fails, tell Bill, just shut the fuck up, Bill.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you, man. See ya.
Oh, my God.
Bye.
All right, later, bro.
Take it easy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, that was a better way to end it.
That was. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
All right, man.
It was
good seeing you.
Yeah, it was good seeing you too, bro. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Take it easy.
All right, bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed it. If you're a fan of the podcast, please leave a review and like and subscribe on YouTube. That would be great. Show your friends, share it around. I appreciate it. Helps me be able to keep doing these. And we're going to do a lot more roundtables. Have Bill on quite a bit. He's a funny guy. And we're going to do some really cool shit this upcoming year. I got some great guests coming on. Next guest is going to be a pretty awesome one. Her dad was on here earlier. So probably one of the dopest juniors in the game will be coming up pretty quick, probably Friday. So if you want to hear it, just get ready because it's coming. But once again, RIP to Jorge Ballesteros. You'll be missed. Such a great guy. I had the opportunity to know him pretty well. He was always super, super, super nice, respectful, kind-hearted guy. Always, if I needed anything, or he would just send me stuff like, hey, I saw that you were doing this, try this. He always wanted to help no matter what. And it's sad to see him go. But anyway, If you made it this far, I appreciate you, and I will see you on the range.